Sometimes you'll miss your blessings because of the people that you're connected to. Ooh. So if I have not already done the intro of this video, welcome back to my corner where I inspire others to dream more, live more, and become more. So today we are going to be talking about ways to level up in your 20s. And I would like to give a special shout out to one of my favorite YouTubers. Her name is Kamsi Namani, and she is a Nigerian YouTuber who did a video on this some weeks ago. And first of all, sis blew. Like, her channel is well over like 20,000 subscribers right now. But to be completely honest, it's not really about the numbers when it comes to doing this video. I've actually wanted to do like a video kind of similar to this, like about just like my experiences and things that I've been doing to like level up. But yeah, shout out to Kamsi for inspiring me to make this video. She has some really good points. So I have my points here on, and this is my second phone, by the way, guys. As you guys know, chit chat fashion, I always gotta have me something to drink. So today I actually have a smoothie because we are doing Fit Fam. This is a berry banana smoothie, and then it also has like hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, spinach, and almond milk, and a little bit of agave. I make the best smoothies, hands down, period. Don't argue with me. We're gonna go ahead and get started. As you guys can see, I've already done my brows off camera because I ain't got time for that. So for starters, guys, I'm gonna go in with my, can y'all see? e.l.f. concealer in the shade Deep Olive, and I'm gonna use that as my base for my eyeshadow because I want the colors to pop. I need the colors to pop. So leveling up in your 20s, let's talk about that. Like, first of all, I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of feel like people don't necessarily talk about this enough. I kind of feel like, you know, when you hit your 20s, by the way, guys, I'm 27. My birthday was in September, so I will be 28 this year. But I kind of feel like when it comes to the conversation of like leveling up, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the more time passes, the younger the age gets that people expect you to have like leveled up by, if that makes any type of sense. Like, okay, I'm 27 now, right? But like social media will like have you thinking that you have to be out here, married, kids, you know, your dream job, like 5 different streams of income. And, you know, to be honest, I kind of feel like that's not very realistic. And it also kind of makes you compare yourself. And then you start feeling guilty. You start feeling bad because you're trying to figure out, like, what's the missing formula? Like, why am I not glowing up the way everybody else is glowing up out here? Let me be the first to tell you, like, people are only going to show you what they want you to see. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I really, really just like need y'all to understand that, because I think that a lot of times, like, we as like, I guess you could say millennials slash, is it Generation X? I don't know. I just kind of feel like there is like this unspoken pressure to like have certain things and to have attained certain things by a certain age. Thinking back, like, so I'm 27 now, but to be honest, I would say, let me see, 5 years ago would have been what, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this is why I didn't study math. If you would have asked me where I saw myself in 5 years, I definitely probably would have had some drastic answer like, oh, I'm gonna have 3 businesses, I'm gonna have 5 degrees, you know, 3 kids. Like, now it's like the age that I am now, I'm like, what? So the first point that I want to make is basically like, in order to avoid like, you know, comparison, and in order to avoid like assuming that you have to be a certain place by a certain age and all that stuff, my first piece of advice would be to engage in self-discovery. Really, really figure out like, who do I want to be? Like, what is my purpose? And I don't even want to say like, ask yourself, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because to be honest, sometimes I feel like that's where the pressure comes from, because hold on, where are my brushes? All right, so now I'm going in with my Juvia's Place, the Warrior 2 palette, and I'm gonna be using this shade right here. While you're in your 20s, I kind of feel like that's the perfect time to just really figure out who you are, and just also remember that like everybody is going through the same exact thing. Like no one person woke up as soon as they turned 20 and said, I know exactly what I want to do with my life. And if they did, they capping. I'm sorry. I feel like I found myself like early on getting lost in like what other people were doing. And then it made me feel like I had to do the same thing. But to be honest, like your journey is your journey. So whatever your purpose is, whatever you are passionate about, whatever you want to go after, literally like figure that out first. I feel like when you know your purpose, that is like the driving force behind everything else that comes. You know, you're just trying to figure out like, okay, well, what type of things do I like? What are my values? Like, what do I believe in? What type of people do I want in my circle? And kind of build on that. If you don't do that, and if you don't have a clear image of who you are and like who you want to be, what type of people you want to inspire, who you want to work with, that kind of thing, I feel like it's very, very easy to get like lost in the sauce with other people's visions and dreams. And that's how you end up comparing yourself. That's how you end up not believing in yourself and stuff like that. You know, go on this self-discovery journey. That can be through therapy. That could be through different like self-help books. That can be through like podcasts. Look at, you know, maybe like your favorite public speaker like Oprah, or maybe listen to TED Talks, you know, just different things that kind of like help you zero in on exactly who you want to be. The ugly side of self-discovery is that you're also going to be on a journey where you're figuring out what your triggers are. You're probably going to be digging up some trauma. You're going to be learning about some patterns that may or may not have been like healthy when you were younger, but you didn't realize they were unhealthy until you become an adult, and you like, that was never okay. Like, it's not gonna be this big grand golden thing where you're like, oh my God, I can smell the flowers, I know who I am. Like, it's gonna be dirty, it's gonna be crusty, it's gonna be stank. Why do you have the habits that you have? Like, why haven't you glowed up like till this point? What has been holding you back? Next point that I want to make when it comes to leveling up in your 20s would be to create a routine that works for you. A lot of people assume that have to wake up at 5 a.m. to conquer the world. Like, everybody's not a 5 a.m. early bird, honestly. Like, that's just the reality of it. And, you know, again, just kind of going back to what I was saying earlier about like comparison, I kind of feel like, you know, social media will have you thinking that if you're not waking up by 5, that you're not doing something right. Like, sis, if I don't want to wake up by 5, I don't gotta wake up by 5. It's not by force. I kind of feel like do what works for you. You know what I mean? Like, if waking up at 5 a.m. is not your thing, then don't do that. I know for me personally, I do prefer to wake up really early because I feel like sometimes I have so much going on in the day. I have really, really, really been focusing on routines these days. Like, y'all, it's to the point where like I have like a whole planner template that I created, and I try my best to like plan out my weeks and, you know, just try to stick to it. Like, of course, things don't always go as planned, but I think like to have some type of direction in like your day-to-day activity, to me, it's like so important. And also it's a good way for you to like measure the things that you're completing during the day. So like I prefer things like to-do lists. I prefer like planning out my day. There's a meme that says something like your success is hidden in your daily routine. I was a person at one point who kind of felt like I could just go through the day with like not having a routine. Once I started like writing my tasks down, once I started keeping a planner, once I started like doing little to-do lists, honestly, I feel like it really kind of helped me measure what I was doing during the day. It made me realize that I spend a whole lot of time like lollygagging, to be honest. Like, I found myself always complaining that I never had, well, I don't have time to film. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to catch up with, you know, family members and friends. Like, and I had to really tell myself like, sis, do you not have time? Like, are you busy being productive, or are you busy just like filling your time up? You know what I mean? Like, giving up your comfort zone is probably one of the hardest things ever, but I promise you, like on the other side of it, you will feel so much better because you'll kind of realize like how much time you've been wasting by not having a routine. Along with the routine comes discipline. It comes consistency. You have to be persistent, especially in those moments where you really don't feel like doing it. Like, you have to force yourself. Like, if you want to get up and get your day started early, you have to force yourself. Like, there is no cheat code. I'm gonna go ahead and do my liner. As you guys know, or if you don't know, this is what I keep my lashes in, a pill organizer. I don't know if it's ghetto, but judge your mama. All right, so this is the foundation that I'm going in with, and it's in the shade. It's in the color D60. We have talked about self-discovery. We have talked about creating a routine. But my next point when it comes to leveling up in your 20s, I would say is to invest in yourself. And when I say invest in yourself, I'm not just talking about financial, although of course it is really important to, you know, invest in yourself financially as far as like, you know, building your credit and all that stuff, but we ain't talking about that right now. When I say like invest in yourself, I'm talking about 3 different points. Emotionally, hold on, I gotta go back and look, cause child, I forgot my points. Tried to be a pro too soon, sis. Slow down, slow down. Okay, so when I say invest in yourself, I'm talking about 3 specific points. The first point is physical. The second point is mental. And the third point is educational. All right, so first things first, physical. So just like I told you guys at the start of this video, we are on Fit Fam these days. I am not just sipping a smoothie just to sip a smoothie. I'm sipping a smoothie because I am my biggest that I've ever been in my whole life. Like, I am very uncomfortable about it if I'm being transparent. Like, I don't like the weight that I'm at all. I'm always complaining about my size. I'm being transparent because I'm trying to just like encourage somebody else that, like, you know, just in general, when it comes to glowing up is not gonna always feel good. And you know, one thing that I had to realize is that I had a lot of poor habits in like various areas of my life, including physical. Watch what you're putting in your body. Honestly, like, fast food is called fast for a reason. When it comes to the physical glow up, you have to invest in like your health. Go to your doctors on a regular basis. Go to your dentist. Change your toothbrush. Like, I had to let that out. Change your toothbrush. If you are watching this and you know it's been a good 2-3 months, it ain't no excuse. You can go to the Dollar Tree. They literally have freaking toothbrushes for $1. I don't want to hear no excuse. Your bristles on your toothbrush should not be looking all out of whack going north, south, east, west. Exercising, like, y'all, get moving. And you don't have, again, social media will have you thinking that you got to be this big, you know, Hulk or this Buffy the Body where you're like in the gym freaking killing yourself every day, but you really don't even have to do all that, y'all. Like, just get your body moving every single day. And so the next one that I would say invest in yourself from a mental perspective. And I mean, like, get a therapist. Get a therapist, because your trauma is not your partner's trauma. It is not your partner's job to like go along this like traumatic journey. Like, of course, like, their support is, you know, needed and maybe necessary, you know, but that's not their job to heal you. Like, sis, you got to heal yourself. Whatever it takes to get yourself together from a mental perspective, do that, because that's nobody else's job but yours. And then last but not least, I would say level up from an educational perspective. Like, take classes, take courses. Y'all, I actually invested in an editing class for my YouTube channel. One of the best decisions I could have ever made for my channel ever. Like, the freaking community that I gained, the fact that you guys are actually able to notice like my editing upgrades. When it comes to investing in yourself from an educational perspective, like, yes, you may have to pay some money. Like, everything is not going to be free. Like, I kind of feel like too that a lot of people just don't really be trying to invest because they ain't trying to spend the coin. But I'm like, if you can spend the coin on hundreds and hundreds or even thousands of dollars on like clothes, shoes, makeup, like all of those things are things that will eventually go out of style or you'll run out. Stuff like makeup, you'll run out of stuff like that. To take a course where you're like learning a skill and you're learning how to do something, you will not ever run out of that knowledge. Once you learn how to do that skill, it's stuck. Y'all, I actually forgot how much I love these lashes. They're so cute. I just feel like they're very bold, so I don't wear them all the time. Why one lash always gotta act up? Look at my lash. Like, out here embarrassing me. Oh, see, I even got a little bit of liner in my eyes, but it's fine. So this is pretty much what the lashes are looking like. This is what the eyes look like. Anyway, so now we need to apply our pressed powder. So my next point when it comes to leveling up in your 20s is something that may be a little unpopular, but I'm just gonna say it anyway, and that is to have a giving heart. It is not always about you. It is not always about you and what you got going on and woe is me, and people should just be understanding to what I'm going through. You're not the only person going through something, sis. You are not the only person. Oh my God, y'all, what am I doing? I totally forgot to put the concealer on my nose. Have a giving heart. And like, I'm not just talking about going to feed the needy and, you know, like blah, blah, blah. Like, all that stuff is super important. When I say like have a giving heart, I mean to like think beyond yourself. Like, it's not always about you. If you have a friend who maybe they have become distant, you know, maybe you guys were kind of close or maybe you guys are cool, this person kind of suddenly becomes distant. Don't just assume that this person is acting funny or that this person just don't want to be your friend no more or that this person is fake. You do realize that people go through stuff, right? I feel like everybody copes differently. Everybody has like different ways of how they deal with stuff. And I think that like a part of leveling up is like having that understanding that like it's not just about you and what you have going on. Like, everybody has something going on. Just because a person doesn't answer their phone, it's not the end of the world. It don't mean that you gotta cut them off and not be their friend no more and all this stuff. Like, don't go do all that dramatic stuff. The other side to like having a giving heart, I would say, is like, don't hold back info. I can't stand when people do that. And I feel like it happens a lot with social media. Like, it could be something as simple as like you hitting somebody up to ask them where they got their shoes from or where they got their bag or something like that. And people will act like it's top security of the world, Craig. Top security of the world. I am such like a let's work together, teamwork, make the dream work. Like that is kind of like anybody who knows me will tell you I'm a team player all day, every day. So don't be that like snobby person that just feels like you want to just hold all the information to yourself. What's like an example? People who are like super vague with their advice. It's like, are you threatened because you feel like I'm gonna take your spot? Personally, I feel like if you are confident enough in like where you are in your journey, you really have no reason to withhold information. Like you really have no reason to act funny. I don't know. Personally, I will never understand why people do that. And unfortunately, it's a lot of women that do that. Men do it too, but personally, I've noticed it more than anything in women. Oh, this lash is gonna drive me crazy. Why would it kill you to like share information and kind of teach the next person about something? I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like, you know, your time is going to be your time. Whether I blow with your information or not, like when it's my time to blow, I'm going to blow. Like, so whether you withhold the information from me, whether you act like you don't want to give it to me, or whether you act like, you know, I'm getting on your nerves by asking you this info, like sis, whether you give it to me or not, I'm gonna figure it out because that's just my purpose in life. Now, I know some people might feel like, well, the same way I had to do it, other people got to do it. Like, of course, I agree. Like, just like I mentioned earlier, like success is not gonna ever come at a cheap cost. Like, you're gonna have to work for it. But my point is like, don't feel like you can't help the next person because you were in somebody's place before too. So don't ever get too big-headed because baby, God will humble you real quick. Number 5, I'm not gonna touch too much on this because I kind of did a video about this recently, but I would say detox. When it comes to leveling up in your 20s, you are going to lose friends. I mean, you might even lose some family members. You're gonna lose people who you thought were maybe in your corner. The importance of detoxing is so essential because sometimes you'll miss your blessings because of the people that you're connected to. I told y'all, growth does not feel good. That's why it's called growing pains. It does not feel good. Sometimes you're gonna have to let go. Letting go of toxic relationships, letting go of toxic friendships, like reevaluate your circle and ask yourself, like where I am right now, if I wanna level up, what am I gonna do to get to that place? Are there people in my life who support me? And if they don't support me, if they are not providing any type of value to you at that moment and at that time in your life, be unapologetic about cutting people off. You don't owe nobody nothing. I don't care who it is. I don't care how long y'all been friends. I don't care what kind of relationship y'all been in. Sometimes like guys really be out here jealous of their women. Like, they will do certain things to kind of hold them back from like completing certain tasks because they just don't like the idea of not having that control over their woman anymore. So like if you decide that you want to start a business and your guy got every excuse in the world, well, what about spending time with me? How you gonna have time for me if you gonna do your business? Like, something in the milk ain't clean. Figure out who's in your circle that's like not really in your circle, if y'all get what I'm saying. Like figure out who those people are and who you need to eliminate. Job style, job style. Who wanna get cut off? Who wanna get cut off? Yeah, my lash is acting crazy over here. I don't get it. What do you want from me? What more do you want from me?
What more do you want from me?
I'm just like letting my cheeks bake before I dust this powder off because we almost done, sis. We almost done. But so now I'm just like putting on my highlighter. I wanted to leave you guys with this last point when it comes to leveling up in your 20s. Do self-evaluations and self-check-in. I kind of feel like the first point opens everything up. The last point kind of wraps it all into one. To be honest, like, sis, you probably are doing way better than what you think you are in your 20s. If you are out here staying dedicated, staying focused on your goals, whether that is like school, whether that is a business, you are probably 9 times out of 10 already doing an amazing job at it. Always just like have your plan in the back of your mind. Always keep like a vision board that you can track your progress because you may be doing way better than you think you are. And I'm gonna just keep going back to like the importance of like not comparing yourself to what you see on social media because that's legitimately a highlight reel of what people want you to see. It's not a realistic representation of where you need to be. Like, I feel like people have a bad habit of trying to tell you where you need to be. It's like, no, where you are in your life is probably where you are supposed to be for a reason. Trying to measure your level of success to the next person is never gonna get you far. As a YouTuber, y'all, I see so many successful people out here doing it. Like, so many people like younger than me or my age or, you know, whatever. I really had to tell myself, like, it's not about comparing yourself to see, oh, am I as good as that person? You should have a healthy balance between admiring a person for what they're doing, but also taking value in your own work. Like, what they're doing does not devalue what you're doing. Check in with yourself on like a regular basis to see how you're doing, and like pat yourself on the back sometimes. Y'all, I'm over here trying to hide the fact that I definitely got liner in the corner, and I'm trying to cover it by making a little mole. Don't allow the next person. Y'all, what did I do? Okay, hold up. Go red. Y'all see that? Hold on. One thing that we don't have on is our lipstick. We're just gonna keep it real simple with Gloss Bomb, guys. All right, so this is pretty much what we're looking like, guys. This is the finished product. I really like this look. It came out better than I expected, to be completely honest. But I think I'm about to maybe try to get some Instagram reels in. I'm feeling good, feeling great. I stuck to my routine today and I've gotten so much done and I just feel so good. So I just want to really leave you guys with pour positive things into yourself, into your atmosphere, and I promise you success will come. So I'm gonna leave you guys on that note. I had a lot of fun doing this. Let me know if you guys would like to see more get ready with me's, chit chats, and all that stuff. If you guys enjoyed this video, as always, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you come across this video, and also don't forget to comment, share this video with other people. We'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
I think about you all the time now. I guess I never feel the same. And I'm always waiting for your call, but I don't know you don't.